Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Kevin Mason, also known as Big Kev Comedy, and I'm here with the review for UberEATS NYC delivery driver. If you watched the previous video, that was the pros video. Now we're going to deal with the thumbs down or the cons video. So there are a couple of cons about the way Uber does things. I'll start with the sign-up process. As I mentioned in the last video, the sign-up process is a little special. I think it could be just a little bit easier for the simple fact that when you sign up with Uber, you have to send them your driver's license, your registration, your insurance, and if you can't get it to upload within the app that they make you download, you have to use computer. And if you don't have a scanner or on your computer, then you have to go down to the green hub or green light locations that Uber has in the city. This was the situation with me. My documents were not uploading for some reason, and I had to take time out of my day to go down. And there's no parking over there either. It's a commercial area, so unless you have commercial plates on your car, you will get a ticket. And I was just doing the delivery service. I was not a cab driver, so I think I got lucky. I didn't get a ticket because I found a sneaky way to park, but that's not most people, so that's definitely a con in my book. There wasn't a long wait. You go in, you sit with somebody. He couldn't really help me as far as getting approved through the background process check they have. They use this service called Checker. So he put it, the reason it was taking long for me to get approved, he put it on the background people. He said, well, they're just taking a long time to run through it. It usually takes 2-3 weeks. Never mind the fact that when you go on the website, they make it seem like it goes by like that. And in most cases it does, but for whatever reason, something came up in my background that maybe it took them longer, or maybe it was the fact that when I did it was around Christmas time and maybe they only had 4 or 5 people working in the office at the time. I don't know. So anyway, when my approval to drive finally came through, I was able to start driving. Now, they have this video that's supposed to play as a welcome video when you first put the app on your phone, but there's another con. That video doesn't work. Like, I pressed play so many times and it didn't play, and it wasn't my phone. I actually had to go online to look it up, and then I saw what video it was they were trying to play. I thought also Uber could have done a better job explaining exactly how the process of the delivery works, because the very first delivery I had, I didn't know what I was doing. I got the order, I hit confirm, I hit start, I didn't know what I was doing. And there's not really a how-to video with the Uber app. And I think that's one thing they could improve on, is that when people first install it, they got to make them go watch the video which shows you how it works. And basically, if you didn't watch my first video on the pros of Uber, I'll tell you right now, the way it works is that whenever an order comes in, a little blue circle pops up on your screen. It takes over the whole screen so you can't miss it. And you have between 15 and 30 seconds to tap it to accept the order that comes in on your screen. Now, when I did my first delivery, I didn't know this. So when it came up, I took the order and I instantly hit start trip and I hit complete order, even though I hadn't picked up the food. I didn't know any better. And plus, I also didn't know that when you select the order, it goes to the GPS app of your choice and tells you how to get to the restaurant. I thought I had to put the restaurant's address in my own personal GPS, or the name of the restaurant in my GPS. So when I did that, I went to the exact wrong restaurant. And the customer called me like, hey, are you lost? Because you're not... You drove past my house like 3 times. You have the food already? And I did not know what she was talking about. So I ended up getting to the restaurant and then finally picking up the food and finally getting it to the customer. And as I did more deliveries, I finally realized, okay, this is how it works. You accept the order, you hit start trip, you go to the restaurant, you pick up the food, and then you drop it off to the customer. Kind of not really explained as far as when you first get the order, when you first start. But I think they could do a better job with that. Put that in an app somewhere where people can see it so they know exactly how it works. I don't have a problem with the pay that Uber gives. I think the pay is fair. My problem with Uber is that they change it up so much. When I first started driving with Uber, there were guaranteed money times where you would get $20 an hour if the app was on between certain times. They've changed it up so much that I can't even keep up with what the pay structure is now, to be honest with you. I understand how the initial pay works. You get, I believe it's there's a $4.99 Uber fee, flat, right? And then you get paid per mile through Uber. And this is something I forgot to mention in the pros section of the video. Uber does pay you per mile that you drive, and it's very fair. So the further you drive, the more money you can make. But that's as far as I understand with the pay structure. I don't understand how the blitz works. I know you get maybe 1.5 or 1.8 times when the blitz is in effect, but I don't know where they determine that amount. Is that based off of the total amount of the delivery, or is it based off of some random number? I don't know, and I can't find out the question through the app. So that's something that they can work on, maybe helping people understand how that works. But you do get paid like that. But I think they need to slow down how much they switch it up, because it gets very confusing. Like, I haven't even been doing Uber for that long, only since December. And in that time, they've probably changed how they pay the delivery drivers at least 4 or 5 times. I can't even keep up. And they also send a lot of text messages too, which is kind of annoying. To get 3 text messages that say the same thing doesn't make any sense to me. One of the other downsides of any delivery service, not just Uber, is that the parking situation. There's really not much they can do for you, especially when you work in a city as busy as New York. There's never any parking. I had a situation where I had to pick up a delivery, and the restaurant was taking mad long. I think I was there for like 45 minutes, and there was no parking, so I double parked. The cops came, ended up giving me a $115 ticket. So I call up Uber, like, yo, Uber, what's good? I got a $115 ticket. Y'all gonna help me pay this or what? Because I was helping y'all deliver. Oh no, sorry sir, no, can't help. You just gotta try to find a safe place to park where you can go and wait and go pick up the food from the restaurant. We really don't help you. And I'm not trying to make fun of the people doing this, but that's gonna be another con that I'm about to get to after this one. They did not help me pay the ticket, and that $115 ticket hurt because, oh, there's an order coming in. Anyway, that $115 ticket really hurt because I didn't have, that was the whole money that I made. I didn't make that much that night, so that was pretty much the whole, the whole ticket. So, damn, Uber, I mean, we got to give us a parking pass or at least help us pay half the ticket or something. Y'all making billions of dollars. I think you can help the drivers out. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, and I might stop after this because I just got an Uber delivery that just came in, is the customer service. Now, when you have a problem, there is a number you can call in the app, and then they'll put you in touch with somebody at customer service. Also, they have something where you can type to the UberEATS people and they respond to you within the app. My only problem is the people they got there, and this is a problem with all companies, they got people that their English is not their first language, which is not a bad thing if they speak English well. But the people that they had that did the customer service, it's frustrating because you're trying to talk and I don't think they understand everything you're saying, or the slang, maybe use some slang. Everybody in America uses this type of slang. So maybe they don't understand, and it's hard to explain something to someone who doesn't speak English as the first language. I know they're doing the best job they can, but sometimes it's just so hard. They sound so robotic, and they're human. But I think we can do a better job, Uber, with the customer service people. You really need to maybe get some homegrown Americans to answer these phone calls so people don't feel like they're talking to robots or people who just don't understand what they're talking about. It make my life a lot easier, and a lot of drivers out here that drive for Uber doing deliveries and taxi would be a lot happier. Now, there's more to this Uber thing as far as cons, but let me just go do this delivery real quick, and I'll come back and tell you the rest. Hang on. Hey guys, I'm back. Just did that delivery real quick. So when I left off, I was talking about the customer service and how they need to get people who speak English as a first language, or people who can speak it a little better than the ones that they have currently doing it. It's very annoying. One of the last things I can think about with Uber that annoys me is that they want you to be in the areas that's busy, but what they don't do is they don't put on the map where it's busy. There are some other delivery app services that I use that have it so you can be sitting where it's the busiest, and you get there and you'll get your orders. The problem with Uber is they don't do that. They'll say, all right, well, if you go to inner Brooklyn and you go to Manhattan, then if you do deliveries there, then you'll get $20 guaranteed money on top of whatever boost. But I've done that. I went down to inner Brooklyn because I live in East Flatbush. I drove down to inner Brooklyn. I drove in Manhattan. I would drive around for like, at the max, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes I'd park up and I'd wait, and I wouldn't get any deliveries, and I'd get really pissed off because I'm like, they say you go down there and you'll get this and you'll get this and that, and it doesn't happen. So what I do now is I just stay by my house and I park, and then I just wait for the deliveries to pour in. I don't drive because that's a waste of my gas and my time. Why tell me it's busy there and I get there and it's not busy? I'm not saying that's Uber's fault, but what I am saying is that they lead me to believe that if I go to this area that I'm going to be busy, and that's never been the case. So I take what they say as far as with a grain of salt. What is that? Why did they cancel it? That's so weird. Okay. Well, yeah, sorry about that. I just got distracted by that weird Mario sound. Anyway, it just seems that, like, you could do a better job with that, Uber. It just seems like you're wasting people's gas money when that happens. So I don't recommend following Uber's advice on where to go. They should just put on, like, they used to have this kind of heat map thing. I don't know if that ever got off the ground, but just, Postmates does it where it tells you where it's the busiest area, and you kind of drive around there and you wait, and maybe you'll get a couple of deliveries. So I think that's maybe Uber should kind of look into that, because that would be helpful for the drivers, instead of driving around somewhere and hoping that you get a delivery, when they actually send you somewhere where there is a delivery, or just don't even do it at all, because you're kind of wasting people's time with it, and that's a lot of gas, a lot of irritation. You don't get any deliveries, you know what I mean? So yeah, just don't do it. All right, Uber, just stop. If you can think of anything that I've missed, if you're an Uber driver, or maybe you're thinking about becoming one, you have questions, and maybe something that I didn't address in this video, feel free to hit me up. My social media, all my social media is at Big Kev Comedy. I'm an actor, I'm a dad, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I also deliver Uber food at night to make a little hustle money. So if you have questions about stuff, or like I said, you're a driver and maybe I missed something, you'd like me to address it, hit me up on the social media, and I'll look into it, and maybe I'll do a video update, and I'll put something up where you could I'll respond to your questions. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is kind of like one of my first videos like this, so if it seems really crappy, like I'm sitting in some dungeon, you gotta give me a break, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's been real. At Big Kev Comedy, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit me up if you have questions, comments, response, love, hate, whatever it is. I appreciate all of it. And I'll see y'all on the next review. You know what the next review I'm going to do? Postmates. Another delivery service. So stay tuned. I'm going to see y'all on the flip. We out.